everything's set up here and we're live in like 2 minutes. I don't have that. Tell me that we need to be disabled. We will be. They were supposed to give us a second table.
It's right there.
Okay, I don't have that. We're live on the street. And how is that? It's up nice. They're picked up also. It's not picked up. Yes. I mean, I understand. I just came in yesterday and cleaned everything up. Like if we were told this an hour ago, yes. But since I have like 9 days or 5 days to do, then I don't have time to do that. Like you might be trying to get it done tomorrow. But as far as today goes, like excuse me.
I'm probably never going to throw behind a pick pass that good ever again.
Not much. I noticed like I did everything I could. Yeah, thank you. I was like, I need to make it good. There's a lot of tires.
Can you pull it up and just angle it over that way?
So I have this much slack. That was just a shot. Yeah.
So I do have that tip. I do have that tip.
That was the only thing I could think of besides
How you doing?
How you doing? I'm Mike. Did anyone got some tack on your
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just.
Right there, sir.
We don't right now because there's only 2 games.
Really appreciate you.
Yeah, if you guys need me, I'll be up for you. Okay, you're good.
It's the best I can do, sir.
You are M1.
As far as the 2 announcers that are supposed to be announcing, for the 2 announcers that we're supposed to have, where are they going to be set up and what are they doing?
So I believe the 2 announcers are going to be one there, one to the left, and one going to be to the right.
Oh, yeah, okay, that works. Oh, look at that. I'm going to be able to hear myself and hear other people. In Colombia, there was a microphone in my face. I'm going to be right next to you. You're going to hear me anyway. I had a microphone. The people that were doing the controls,
I listened to all of them.
they didn't speak English. So I couldn't communicate with the table. I didn't know when it was on or off.
It was so funny, like whenever whoever was moving the camera would like fall asleep or something, because it would only be on one half of the court for a while, and then they'd catch it.
Yeah, there was just the one girl at the table with her laptop. She had a digital SLR and a microphone plugged into her laptop. That was her whole setup.
Well, it looked really good. I mean, they did the overlays and stuff, which weren't always accurate. The scores
I heard sometimes the scores were off,
or it would take like 5 points to catch up, and then all of a sudden they'd catch it up.
I think she was tweeting a lot. she asked me to do a little, what do they call those things where you say, oh, my name is so-and-so.
An intro?
Yeah, so that she can put it up on Instagram, you know, about her. She gets ready. I got a little bottle of water.
How are you?
Good. You taking care of this
Oh
woman?
no, I'm
She said.
I said no.
as I get notifications, I see them.
They're great.
It looks like you can probably in the center of the ball.
Oh, I got it. It's just the one top of it.
Second one's there. If you've got like a run up, go ahead.
Do you want me to use
I don't think. Yeah, I watched all those guys.
Bag too, I brought it.
So it looks like we got 20 number 11, 13,
We have blues home going this way. Reds going this way.
Come
them.
Yeah, spacing is really key here. It's too easy to defend two people if they're close together with one guy. Ruby alone. Take that pass across. Tied again at 3. And so you saw the referee put the ball down there. Carrie, you want to explain what was happening there?
Yeah, so the referee called for the inbounder, and there was nobody coming to get the ball. So 11 raised his hand. He said he was going for it. The ref is going to put that ball down and let it sit there for their 10 seconds until it's time to go.
Right, so you only have 10 seconds to inbound. And if nobody's coming toward that ball, like you said, they'll put it down and start that clock.
Yep.
But fortunately, the player was able to get his hand up and indicate he wanted to be the inbounder before that whistle was made. Otherwise, they'd have started counting that clock off, and they'd have been in a desperate situation. So it looks like that's Goronsky.
And equipment for him. Looks like he blew out one of his tubes, his wheel.
As you can see, they're quick release, so we can get the mechanics out there and zoom.
What you guys don't see inside of all of these wheelchair rugby tires are tubes, and when we hit each other really hard, they kind of explode. So to let out a little bit of air, and we have to get those changed so that we can get back on the court and keep playing.
Oh, working around Scaturo. Hit by
Good
Daly
hit.
as he crosses the line.
Are there any new rules that we should look forward to seeing this year?
I haven't seen any of the proposals yet. I'm not commissioner anymore, so after 8 years, I get one off, which is nice. I'm not connected at all anymore, really. Once in a while, I'll talk to the new commissioner. Timeout called. Brooks able to. You only have 12 seconds to cross half, so Brooks able to stop Denver offense, make them call timeout. You see Brooks dropping in the key now, trying to slow things down, get into position where they can best defend the try line. The key there, you're seeing that they're in. All right, so Denver will inbound here. Brooks in that key. The key is key is 8 meters by 1.75 meters, and it defines basically the try area. You want to explain the 10 and the 4 in the key rules?
Yeah, so in the key, that is your goal, for lack of better words. When you have 3 players in the key, you kind of have a little bit of space that you can play with, but 4 players in the key is illegal, and it kind of blocks up all of the area that we would need.
From
so
a
it makes it
defensive perspective,
yeah. So it makes it not fair and fun to the gameplay. So you're not allowed to have 4 players in the key, and you are also not allowed to stay in the opposing team's key for more than 10 seconds. If you do, you're going to go to sit over in the penalty, and then you're going to have Eric Newby over there who's just blocking you up and just waiting to hammer you, get back on the court.
So I think the referee is going to say he didn't come in straight.
He didn't. Came in at an angle.
They'll confer. So that the penalty box has what we call a gate. There's 2 lines that define you have to come straight on. If you come on at an angle, it's illegal. You have to come straight on from that penalty box. It gives players an opportunity to stop you from coming in. He's a newer player, so he's probably never been called on that. You don't see it called as much in season play, but you will absolutely see it here in the playoffs. So Kingsland gets it in over Bergman, but Bergman unable to reach it.
The turnaround goes to Harlequin.
So now you'll see Denver eat some clock here, drag this out, get set up, see if they can keep Goronsky in the box, force him to call inbounder. They'll probably call inbounder anyway. did not. He was able to get in, so. So it looks like Denver wants to call a coach's timeout. Oh, they're trying to do subs. But they can't sub because it wasn't the right situation. So Hull stopped by Scaturo. Kingsland's got a pass coming, but he doesn't push to it. He could have gotten that one. I don't know why he slowed down. Newby's got it. Ducks around Kingsland, gets back into the play.
Gets it over half, and they're just going to sit for a sec. Goes in for the easy try.
22 will come back in. I don't know why he's not calling inbounder. There we go.
We are running 4-6. Denver up with 4:26 left in the first of 4 quarters.
Yeah, so a 2-point swing there based on those penalties. That hurts Brooks a lot. They were working at the ball advantage of the tie. They
had first possession. They're doing good with the jump code.
And Hall brings it back to 1-point difference. Getting around the corner there on Daly. Inbound to Daly. Scaturo's picking this one up. He's got Goronsky on him, but ball gets to Newby for the try. Eric Newby, fresh back from Colombia, where USA took gold in the America's Cup, earning U.S. a chance to play at World Championships in Denmark this fall. Several of the players on this Denver team will be playing in Denmark. Daly intercepting the pass there. Will make it 8-5 Denver. It's distracting here, all this direction in my ears. So this is the first of, we have 2 18 tournaments going on here this weekend. Oh, that's over and back, yes, I had to call that.
I think we have this is the best vantage point that I've ever had
for that call.
Game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see his tire was just across the line. He got hit and pushed back.
So Brooks looks like they are dropping into the key for a good key defensive.
And that over and back is like you would see in basketball. Once you cross into the front court, you can't go back.
Aoki looks for the opening in the pocket and
so
takes
yeah,
it.
Aoki and Josh O'Neal, number 2, coming in for Denver on that break. Both of those guys also played in Colombia 3 weeks ago.
Chris Hall with the ball, looking to follow his pickup. He gets stopped in the back. And Aoki with the
another interception.
It's like he knows where to be at all times.
He's also fast enough to get where he needs to be when he's not. But he's one of the best players in the world. The reason that Denver is ranked number 1 is guys like him. So Hall patiently waiting for something to open up. He's stuck on the pile, but he gets behind Bergman and gets around the corner. He's got Newby coming at him. But 10 seconds, no dribble is the call.
Same in basketball as a travel. If you were to go 3 steps without dribbling the ball, same call for us. We go 10 seconds. You have to dribble or pass the ball, or it's going to be a turnover. So this is where we really start to see the advantage for those more seasoned players that can remember to pop the ball down every once in a while, be patient with their timing.
You saw Eric Newby there trying to knock Cody Kingsland across the line. You're not allowed to cross the goal line without the ball, no matter who you are, offense or defense. You could push a defensive player across that line, they go into the penalty box. And you play 4-on-3 for a little while.
And Brooks calls the timeout.
Denver's defense tougher there. We've got We have 4
USA.
Paralympic athletes on the floor right now for Denver, so Brooks has their work cut out for him. Looks like they may be making a substitution. They're using their timeout. This is floor timeout, which you can use to save yourself from a turnover. They are only 30 seconds, and you have 4 per game per team. And the coach's timeout is a minute. You can only call those during a dead ball situation. And we haven't seen one of those called yet. But sometimes it's nice to just take that 60 seconds to catch your breath and get some water. Most of the timeouts you'll see are about saving turnovers.
You get your wits about you. You can take a breath, talk to your guys,
That'd
and really get the play back together.
Jenkins, number 14, in for Brooks. Stephen Walker, number 24, also in. Brooks changing things up a little bit. Now attacking the key. Bergman opens up the corner. Oronsky just needs to find it. He backs across.
It always scares me when they go backwards. I know I do it on the court a lot, but it is so easy to flip over.
Especially on the cone.
Oh, yeah.
Because your chair's wider in the back, right? And Aoki with a quick one.
Sometimes wheelchair rugby reminds me a little bit more of suicides at basketball practice. Just up and back, up and back, and up and back.
Yeah, it's a
It
lot
is
of
a
sprints.
high-scoring game. We are looking at 6-12 right now with Denver in the lead with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the quarter. Stephen Walker looking for that opening. Looking for his help. He's looking for his help.
Walker's got the corner.
And he's
Oh, penalty goal. Try, sorry. I'm still getting used to that. So the Denver player crossed the line. And because the player was about to score or had a chance to score, they just let him do it. So now Aoki looking at the clock with 1:40. He's thinking about at what time to score so that they can guarantee themselves the last possession of the game. Of that quarter. So if you can get the first and the last try of every quarter, that's 8 points, right?
But you're up automatically.
Yeah.
Without even having to rely on the other team to make a turnover.
And Denver does have the possession arrow in their favor, meaning they will start the second quarter with the ball. So it looks like Bergman is going to inbound. Jenkins in front of him being defended by Aoki. Walker, the speedster for Brooks. Comes in to try and set a pick, does. Rolls off of it. Oronsky unable to get out of the backcourt, calls a timeout.
It's a good call. He only had a couple more seconds to go before it would have gotten called for the 12.
This defense in Denver is really tough. And like I said, 3 of the guys out there were just in Columbia playing against the best teams in the Americas region. Lost 1 to Canada, but beat Canada when it mattered in the gold medal round.
I have been fortunate enough to have to try and guard Aoki on the court, and it is no easy task.
Me too. Well, I remember when Chuck was young, we called him Up Chuck.
Up Chuck?
Because he would push so hard he would throw up on the sidelines. I'm not kidding. Numerous times.
I can see that. He looks like the kind of guy that would definitely put his whole heart and soul
He
into his
gives
sport.
it his all. There's no question about that. And you see that today. You know, most of the time when USA is in a competitive game, he doesn't come off the court.
Chuck was part of my my original training crew back in Houston before he went up to do his PhD. And it's kind of cool to watch him with some of the younger players, and he just really wants to impart the knowledge. He's not a stuck-up kind of player. He is one of those guys that just really appreciates the love of the sport and wants to pass it on. It's really good to see.
He actually is moving to Michigan, which is where I'm from. So we hopefully get to train with them, and who knows, maybe he'll even play with us.
Are you saying you're coming out of retirement, Benjamin?
I'm not retired. We just didn't qualify. 40 seconds left on the game clock. 14-7 Denver on top. They're going to run it down. Now they can use a timeout. If you see the shot clock's at 24. So they can use a timeout. If you call timeout and there's less than 15 seconds left, they will reset the shot clock to 15 seconds.
But it doesn't look like they're going to do it. They're just going to go for it. 8, 5, 4.
And they will give 8 seconds to Brooks to try and get this last try in. 7, 5, 3,
2.
Walker coming in hot,
1.
unable to bust through.
So close.
Hooked up on the chair of Josh O'Neill. So that'll be the first quarter, 15-7. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to this first game of the Division I National Championships here in Rockford, Illinois for the USWRA. Denver scores the first try, making it 16-7.
Hold the ball, following Kingsland.
This all gotten to be a lot more patient back there. He's taking his time with the ball.
He's going to dribble in.
He's got 25 seconds, so he's just looking for the right opportunity. Now Kingsland's got Jenkins in front of him, but Jenkins is held out by Regier.
He's waiting for him.
Trying to work that corner, unable. Shot clock counting down to 10. Jenkins tries to get it over to Hull. Hull protects it because it was off red, but I think the shot clock reset and it shouldn't. So the shot clock is 2.9, not 29. So they're going to need to get it in and call timeout, I think. Over the top, unable to get it to Kingsland. And the shot clock should have reset there, but I think they're going to let him score the try. And that is Mark Peters, number 8. He plays with Denmark. And he plays under Jason Regier, who's a player for Denver. Jason Regier, the coach of the Denver international team. National team, I guess. Jenkins, unable to get it inbounds, has to call a timeout. So Brooks has used 3 of their timeouts.
That's really going to start to play a little bit further into the game if they have nothing left and they're getting into those turnover situations.
Right, and you'll see that in a game that's close. Like it'll look like it's toe-to-toe. They have this tied score at halftime, but one team has 4 timeouts and one has none. It's because one had to use 4 timeouts to save them from turnovers that would have turned into scores for the other team. Hit, Hull able to get across half court. Swipe that by Daly. Daly gets his hand in there.
That's a jump.
And they do call
That's
that a held ball.
I don't know, Dave. I think I might have seen a little bit of action in there. What about you?
Well, the ref couldn't see any contact because the way it was turned, but anytime that if you can inhibit the player's ability to manipulate the ball, they will give the jump. We call that a lot more quickly here in the U.S. than they do internationally. So I saw a lot of things that I would have thought in the U.S. where the offensive player wasn't touching the ball. Nice catch by Kingsland, able to get across the try line despite Hoffman's hand in there. Hoffman, number 11.
Back to Mark Peters. Man, he is quick.
There's a reason they play him on their national team. So Jenkins now will inbound again. 18-8. Brooks down. Denver looking at 10-point lead. Jenkins loses the handle a little bit. Gets his wheel popped off. Kingsland still working toward the try line. He doesn't have to call equipment.
I think the equipment call was a little obvious
but
for
you
us.
don't, as an offensive player, you don't want to call it because you want to give your team, if they have an opportunity to score, you don't want to stop the play. So he waited and let Kingsland decide whether or not he was going to be able to advance. And when he didn't, they called that equipment, got the wheel back on.
Smart call. Give you guys a second to reset, regroup, breathe, and get back to it.
Well, it's hard to score a 3-on-4. But it's good. Hall unable to get through, looks for it, and it goes off the chair of number 12, Mike Bavaro, who's in the game for the first time. Jason Regier, number 7 for Denver, trying to keep Hall away from Daly. Daly's got a pick there. And Hoffman now with the ball. Hooked up by Bavaro. And Hall comes in to ensure they can't get across half, forcing Denver to call timeout. That's Denver's second timeout, I believe. So Denver making it 19 to Brooks' 8. Hall trapped in the corner. Gets it to Jenkins. Jenkins has trouble getting a hold of it.
Over to Kingsland.
And he has to call the final timeout of the floor for Brooks. So down by 11, Brooks is out of timeouts here at the beginning of the second. Substitutions coming on. Aoki and Scaturo come back. And they'll join Peters and Regier. Denver looks like they're running the same line. I'm sorry, did I say Denver? Brooks.
You did, Brooks. Brooks is running the same line.
It's my first game of the week.
I'm sorry, I just got distracted. I'm looking off court, and we have the fancy trio over there.
That is quite a colorful set of jackets they got there. Hall breaks through the middle for the try. Brings them back within 10. Scaturo to Aoki. Aoki gets around. Scaturo leads him past 2 players. And now Aoki just has to beat Hull and Jenkins, which he does. couple of hands in there, but able to get by.
What do you think his full court speed is? Like from one half or from one end to the other, and how fast do you think he can go?
I don't know. But as you can see right there,
Back in with the interception. He is quick, folks.
quick, he's smart, he's got a reach. He's able to get that ball. He only has to touch it a little bit to get enough control so that he can get it off the bounce.
It's absolutely insane sometimes what these athletes
Well,
are
and
able
again,
to do.
intercepted. That was just a bad pass. But he was in the right place to catch it for sure.
He's been playing this for long enough to where he usually does know where to be.
So Hall not going to get past Aoki unless he has help, which he does. Jenkins gets him by, but Aoki back to give him trouble. Kingsland gets across half. Hall needs to get it to him because he's running out of time. But
That's an
hit
over and
across
back.
the line.
Ooh.
He was able to catch the ball, but he couldn't keep his chair from getting knocked across.
That was a smart move on Peters. He was waiting for that ball to get passed over,
Great
and he was
defensive
going
play.
to push him real hard.
So now Scaturo gets it to Aoki. They'll attack the key. They don't waste no time. Aoki fights his way through Jenkins and Kingsland. And now Brooks will transition to offense. Kingsland there for the inbound. If Hull doesn't see him, he's looking at the low pointer. Bavaro trying to lead him out. Bavaro needs to go across half. Somebody needs to get across half.
Quick
He's got a couple seconds.
That's a 12.
Oh, they get a held ball.
Jump ball.
Yeah, they still had
That's
2
in-
seconds left, but
That's in Brooks' favor, so.
actually,
Oh, it was not. It was in Denver's
didn't
favor.
Denver start the
Yeah,
quarter? I think that should be Brooks's ball.
it should be.
Did they not flip the possession?
It just got flipped out.
It's okay. I don't know. I'm getting some indication inside, but I can't hear with the cell phones on. Aoki with another try. We're going to hear his name a lot this weekend.
Oh, yes.
So what happened? Is Scaturo in the box? No, he's inbounding.
He was trying to put himself in the box, it looked like.
Oh, it was a correctable error. They had to start over. Something didn't start on time, so they will attack again. So this is a do-over. 20-9, Denver on top.
And he finds the
Aoki
opening.
makes it 24. What do you think the key is here to this Denver defense that's making it so hard for Brooks to get across half?
I think, from my standpoint, I see a lot of guys that know exactly what their job is and where they should be and why they should be there. And understanding that and being able to put that knowledge into play real time on the court, I think makes defense solid.
Even just that everyone is doing the thing that they were told to do.
Yes.
Because no matter how well you do your job, if one of those 4 guys isn't doing it, your defense will break down. So an interception there
We had to leave it
by
in the court.
Scaturo, but it must have gone out of bounds because they're taking it from the sideline.
I think I saw a player leave the court in the back, but not on a scoring run.
That makes sense.
Yep. Aoki with the ball. He gets it up to Peters over half. And they're just going to...
Nice job by Peters to
Cleared it out a
create
little
some
bit.
open space for a pass. And Bergman already raising his hand, number 8, to inbound because he's hooked up on Scaturo. Peters waiting, taking his sweet time. Only 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the second. At halftime, we'll have a 5-minute break. Maybe we'll try and get some score updates from the other games that are going on. There are 3 games going on right now. Tell us who the other ones are.
Yeah, on court 7, we have U of A versus the High Five Storm. On
From
court
Reno, Sacramento.
from Reno, Sacramento. On court 8, we have Shepherd versus NEP. Those are the guys out of New Hampshire.
Northeast Passages, yeah, they're Northeast Passage is from New Hampshire, and Shepherd is out of Atlanta.
Up at 10:30, we're looking forward to seeing Houston versus Texas over on court 5. Tampa War versus the Ability 360 out of Phoenix over in Court 7. And on our court, we have Las Vegas versus McKee.
That should be a good one.
That's going to be a great game.
So Goronski getting out, gets across half, but he's got Aoki to contend with. Aoki just throws his hips into that. Goronski in trouble, has to get it over, and Bergman gives him a passing opportunity, and he takes advantage.
What a great way to be a good teammate, man. Everybody always wants to go directly to ball, directly to the pile, and stack it up, but sometimes the best thing is to be the option.
Get away from each other.
Get away.
So 5, Aoki scores a try, making it 27-10. 2:26 left in this quarter. Stephen Walker there being worked by Peters, trying to get open so he can get that inbound. Goronski can't get around Scaturo, but finally does. Now he's got to get out of the backcourt.
He's telling him to go. He's got Peters on him.
Non-verbal communication there. Walker unable to beat Peters and Aoki. Peters knocks it out and picks it up. Nice job there defensively. And he'll get the try as well.
Denver is really good at
Maybe he
creating
won't.
open space on the court, and I think that's really playing to their advantage today.
Yeah, the experience that these guys have working with the the best coaches in the world and playing with and against the best players in the world. You can't shake a stick at it. 1:52 left in the second. 28-10, Denver on top. Brooks attacking his key. Goronski tries to power it in himself, and I don't know what happened there. It looked like Bavaro was going to get the corner, but then he spun around. And Walker able to get through for the try. Playing defense on Peters. But Aoki throws it over the top. Nobody will stop Peters. Unless he wants him to. 1:24 left in the first half.
I kind of enjoy Walker's ball holder like plate. It's an interesting design.
Yeah, he's got that to protect his knees, I'm sure. Or hold the ball in, one of the two.
A little bit of both.
I don't think, yeah, he has knees. It's funny, people don't realize that we joke about this kind of stuff all the time. People are very oversensitive about things. But I've never been that way. Denver clearing house. Eric Newby, number 9, back in.
Defensively,
Jake
that
Daly.
was a great play. Denver pulled the deny on Brooks, and they held it hard. They made sure that none of the players could get down low enough so that Bergman could get the ball in. It's a great play.
So now Aoki working the clock down. They want to get down to around 55 seconds. So it guarantees them another possession. If they're able to make Brooks, even if Brooks holds the ball for 40 seconds, it leaves them 15, which is plenty of time for Denver to score.
I think Chuck can score 4 times in 15 seconds, if we're being real honest.
Given the opportunity, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nagel, number 13, working the corner with Newby. Daly gets in the middle, and Aoki finds the corner. He's going to try and roll it down. He gets it down to 50 seconds.
11-30 with 49 left in this half.
And the ball popped out there by a Denver player, but it hits the chair of a Brooks player, and that's a turnover. So now if they score quickly, they can still get another possession, but they have to score quicker. And substitutions. Brooks calling for substitutions. See Chris Hall coming back in. So Stephen Walker on the bench. And I think they put Hall in at this point because of his hands and his reach to try and keep them from getting through the key. Walker's fast, but he doesn't have the same defensive ability when it comes to clogging up that hole.
Leaving
And
the court.
pushed across is Bavaro. It's like Newbie gets credit for that one.
We're coming into a little bit of a power play situation here with 28 seconds left. It is still a Denver ball.
Well, because they weren't aggressively going toward the goal with an opportunity to score that try, he goes to the box instead of getting the penalty try, which for Denver is great because now there's no shot clock. 28 seconds left. They'll just wind it down and score at the last second. 4-on-3. They pretty much own it here. So Aoki will move away from Hull. Hull's going to keep trying to make him do something with the ball.
We got 14.
They don't want to get down too far in the key
10 seconds
so
left.
they don't get knocked across and have two men in the penalty box.
And he's going to score with probably like 2 seconds left.
3 seconds.
There it is.
And Aoki with 1.7 left on the first half. 31-11 is the lead Denver has on Brooks.
And that's the half.
That's how we'll finish this one. We have a 5-minute break, and we'll come back for the second half. Enjoy these words from our sponsors.
looks like we are coming back into the second quarter, or the second half. Gameplay has started. Hull with the ball.
Brooks gets to start this time with possession based on the possession arrow. There were 2 held balls last quarter. And we have 4 in the key, Denver.
Oh.
So the last player in gets to spend a minute in the penalty box. Right, a minute, or if the Bandits score a try, he will come out. So Josh O'Neill serving time. Hull patiently waiting for something. So O'Neill calls inbound. Josh O'Neill used to play for the Brooks Bandits. Gets it in. Peters. Peters is off to the races. Hull will not catch him.
Once you give him a little bit of room, he will just take it.
Denmark upset Australia at the Paralympics, which was amazing.
It was a crazy game.
That's a huge win for them. Jenkins hit it, the line is over and back. Peters and Scaturo there to get the ball back to Denver. Our score is 32-12 here in the third period, 7:21. We are in Rockford, Illinois for the Division I and Division II National Championships of the United States Wheelchair Rugby Association.
I'm thinking next year we need something, we need to go somewhere a little warmer. It snowed on us yesterday.
Yeah, well, I know in Michigan we say it's not April if we don't get at least one snowfall.
You know, I live in Phoenix for a reason, Dave, and I would like the snow to stay away.
No, that's why you moved away from it.
That is true.
It's all right. We got some great weather coming up. So inbound is Navarro to Jenkins. Jenkins just hits hard by Peters. Up to Hull, who taps the pass, but can Kingsland get what he can?
Yes, he can.
O'Neill let him by. Kingsland protecting, trying not to get swatted. He's got some pretty good reach. Jenkins now gets it up to Hull. Hull getting off the pick of O'Neill and across the try line.
Great teamwork for Brooks there. They really slowed it down. They were patient. They looked for each other.
Yeah, once they get across half, they do okay. It's just getting across half that's been so hard for them. And now Peters will score that one really fast, and Brooks again. Now we'll try and get across half. So Hull looking to set a pick or use his picker, unable to do so.
Navarro coming down, and it looks like Peters going to get the
Intercepted.
interception.
So Hull now with the pass from Jenkins, going to try to get around Peters, gets the pick, but not enough of a pick there, so he's going to try again. Running out of time. It's been 12 seconds. Jenkins gets the ball. He got away with one there. Scaturo is trying to turn him away from the goal. Over to Kingsland, who can't pick it up, but he's got control of the ball, and that's a try. You only need to have control of the ball. It can be pressed against your wheel or against your chair. As long as you're touching it,
And it's
you
not
can score.
bobbling.
Yep, has to be in control. So Peters works around Hull. And with Scaturo keeping Jenkins away, he won't have any trouble with this try. Again, taking his time to cross so his team can set up on defense. The transition from offense to defense and from defense to offense is really big. Jenkins, another axle problem. So Jenkins calls inbound. And Hull gets the pass. Able to pull it down. I thought he had control of it. Peters just hit him too hard. Because I saw him pull it into his other hand, but it must have just slipped off his fingertips.
It looked like Peters might have gotten a hand in there just in the right moment.
Maybe. You got a little bit better angle on that than I do.
Yeah. Brooks drops into the key. It looks like Peters is going to run from the top.
O'Neill working the corner. Peters going to let him open that up, but he doesn't need it.
He's an animal. an animal.
So powerful. And, you know, the guys that have trunk like that, they can throw their weight into a hit, or they can turn their chairs without using their hands. It's a distinct advantage. Off the back of Jenkins. Hall threw the pass at his back. Jenkins didn't give him a really good passing lane either, but he had the whole front court. He could have thrown it just about anywhere. And he ended up hitting Jenkins between his shoulder blades. So Peters calls him to run the play, dives into the middle. Once again, so Denver getting ready to do a substitution, and Hall has an axle that needs to be pushed back in. But we cannot sub on an equipment unless the player has to come off, then you can. Or they have to use a timeout, because you only have a minute to fix your equipment problem. It's usually enough time, unless it's a serious problem, like a caster broke off or an injury.
It's funny, I don't see too many casters breaking in the actual games. It's usually the travel to the tournament where we see chairs are just broken.
And Kingsland,
Oop, off red, it's going to be a Brooks ball.
I thought that was going to be over and back, but Kingsland able to redirect it. But it is a turnover.
Coming in for Denver, we got Jake Herning, number 21. We got Colton Parker coming in. Chuck Aoki, number 5, came back in. And we've also, looks like we have Nagel coming in as well.
Aoki around the corner. So he'll take over the role Peters has been playing for the past 5 minutes. Or 3 minutes, I guess. We're 5 minutes left in this quarter. 39-15 is our score in the third period. Denver on top. Chris Hall following his lead. Gets across half. Aoki there. Swiping at the ball. It's loose. Kingsland able to hang on to it despite the hit.
Ooh.
And knocked out of bounds. Hit me in the feet.
You felt that? Why didn't you kick it?
It shook my whole chair. Why didn't I kick it? Quad jokes. All right, so.
We got Herning right here, number 21, taking the inbound. Herning got married during the pandemic.
Congratulations.
Right?
Yes.
We saw Chris Hall had a baby during the pandemic as well. So it's cool to see all of these players. Their lives kept going. They kept growing as humans, and they continued
inside
growing
their
as players.
bubbles. Yeah.
It's a little weird though, because normally we see the wives and we kind of watch them grow as they're growing, and this time it was more surprise babies everywhere. Off the wheel.
Goronsky unable to catch that one. I think the pass was good from Walker. Walker, number 24, with his rec specs.
Up to Aoki, who's running his line.
Goronsky took that angle a little tight on Aoki, thinking he might be able to beat him to his spot.
You really got to give yourself a little bit of space with Chuck to be able to come in on the top on him. Otherwise,
but if
he's
you give him too much, if you give him too much, he'll just juke you.
Yeah.
You got to make some contact on his chair. But good luck, right?
He's too fast. They usually hit him behind the axle, and then I get called for the spin.
He's not just fast.
Smart.
He's slippery.
Yeah. We got Walker taking some hits, keeping control of that ball.
He's got Goronsky in front of him.
And he makes the score. We are looking at 16-41 with Denver in the lead. 3:58 left in this third quarter.
Aoki over the top.
Nice hit from Stephen Walker.
Walker gets there. Hoffman able to get it. Turned over to Goronsky. Goronsky getting slapped at. And now Walker's got it. He's got to get it across half, though, and he's got a lot of red shirts in front of him. But Bergman there to pick it.
12.
Oh, in 12 seconds. Only have 12 seconds to get across half, even though you got 40 to score.
was good work, though. He was really putting it in.
Yeah, that was a nice turnover. They did a lot of good work, but they weren't able to take advantage of it. 41-16 is our score with 3.5 minutes left in the third. Aoki gets it over to Hoffman.
And Hoffman was just sitting there waiting. He was camping out.
Smart play. That's again what you were talking about, separation, right? Creating some space so that even if somebody had come over to try and stop that, there was enough space between him and the passer that he had time to catch it, get control of his chair, and get across the try line.
As an offensive player, when I see that and I see somebody camping out in the key, I'm usually going to go and I'm going to try and hold him there. And I'm going to hold him for 10 seconds, and I'm going to try and force that turnover on their mistake.
If you have that opportunity, absolutely. Especially you got a picker on the front of your chair.
Or if it's a low pointer that you know can't get out of there quickly.
Aoki held up there by Bergman.
Oh, he just pops right out of that pick.
He's got trunk.
What's the call going to be, ref?
Timeout.
We got a timeout with Denver. Well-placed timeout. They didn't want to lose that possession because they were gnarly close to that
12
12-second
seconds.
call.
The shot clock says there's only 26, so the shot clock stopped after 14. Now sometimes there's a delay when they actually press the button, but tells you how close they were, right?
Very.
And again, the shot clock, you should know, is not how they count the 12 seconds. The referee is doing a count of 10s, of 12s. Those things are all handled by the refs, and you'll see their hands moving, kind of like metronome. So you see the referee's right hand right now, he's kind of doing that thing to cross half. He has to count those 12 seconds. Even though he's about to cross, got to count it. Casey turns back. Pass from Newby blocked by Goronsky.
It's a Brooks ball.
And it must have gone off a Denver chair there in the key. So we'll have Bergman inbounding here. Bergman looked at Goronsky down. Newby fills up the passing lane. Now Goronsky's open. Trying to back out, holding that ball in with his chin. He's trying to get to Walker, telling Walker where he wants him, but Walker unable to pull that in with just his wrists. And the turnover now, Newby with the ball. Knocked down.
Good hands by Goronsky.
Crazy sloppy all over the place.
Back up
Number
to
23, Parker, able to take that one across.
Looks like we have just about 2 minutes left in this period, Dave.
Yeah, and Walker is moving, but Daly able to get there in front of him, but Walker did a nice job of turning away. You see Stephen Walker speeding around, getting in the play from all angles. Josh O'Neal gets it across half. Defended by Walker. Pass intercepted.
Nice. Brooks came out with some vengeance in this
The pass was a little lackadaisical. I think he'd like to have that one back. Goronsky's going to get the try. 43-19 will be our score. 1 minute 42 left in the third of 4. So after this, we'll have a 2-minute break, come back and play the last 8-minute quarter. And Brooks unable to get that there. Walker reaching for it. Hoping for a turnover there, but it'll be red ball again. Referee calling for an inbounder. That's Colton Parker there. Newby running the offense. O'Neal going in first. Daly going in with Newby. Picks the right. Newby takes the left. Corner's open, trying to get it to Daly over the top. He does. 44-19. 1 minute 17 seconds left. We've got Navarro trying to inbound. Bergman's trapped. Goronsky has the ball. Daly reaches in.
Goronsky's looking for
Got to get it across. He's running out of time.
That's a jump.
And that's a held ball. So
Denver's favor.
it's turned over. Denver will take it. There's a, like in basketball, the possession arrow, instead of having to jump every time that happens, you You alternate who gets the ball, and it's Denver's turn. Josh O'Neill, not sure where he's inbounding from. Newbie calling the play. Newbie number 9. Multi-medal winner in the Olympics and World Championships. To Jake Daly, number 15, who scores with 52.0 left on the clock. Brooks trying to get in here, get another try before this is over, this third period. Walker gets around, hooked up by O'Neill again. O'Neill's been keeping him back. Walker can't seem to get it across half. Goronski's right on top of that line. And they're going to call that over and back. When you turn your chair, if you're on the line.
I watched this. Yeah, he was sitting with one wheel over the line, caught the ball, turned back, came back onto the backcourt, turned back, went onto the front.
Anytime you turn on that line, you're in trouble unless you're going forward.
Even then, you still could be in trouble. You never know.
Anytime you get hit at the line, they assume some backward progress if you don't get by. So, yeah, not a good place to get hit, but people use that defensively all the time for turnovers. 19 seconds left in the third. 45-19. Denver will work for the last try. Newbie coming around the outside. He's got the corner, and he will score with 8.8. I am fidgeting with my hotel key, and I've cracked it 3 times.
Oh, no. Looks like we're going to have to get you a fidget spinner for the rest of the day.
Or ADHD, I guess they call it now. Walker throws it up court. Goronski not looking for it. And time will expire. Our score 46-19, Denver on top. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the final period.
All right, we are back. We have 7:38 left in this fourth quarter. Brooks versus Denver. Scores looking 19 Brooks, 46 Denver.
And it looks like Denver just got 4 in the key. Or wait a minute.
That's a corner inbound.
Oh, my bad. That was Brooks that had 4. No, that doesn't make any sense.
I think somebody just left the court.
Could have been. I thought I saw the signal for 4 in the key. That's why.
Maybe they gave the penalty try instead, but he came out.
Could have been a 10. No, they inbounded from the side. It was a turnover.
Weird.
So it was clearly against Brooks.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were working out some technical difficulties with sound and didn't get to see what was going on.
I promise to pay better attention, Dave. I'm sorry.
It's
I'll
all
be
right.
better.
I'm not used to commentating with somebody after all those games in Columbia by myself. Kingsland gets across the line. Hoffman there to give him a little kiss as he crosses. Friendly love tap. Remind him he's there. Hoffman with the ball. He's got 2 players across half he can get it to. He's Kingsland and Hull on him. Peters now with the ball. Peters looking to pass. And Hierning. Number 21 scores the try. It's Bergman, number 8 from Brooks. Now inbounding into Hull. Kingsland's open up top, but Hull's not looking. There he goes. He sees it now. Cody Kingsland will score that try pretty easily.
Man, I thought the ref was about to lose his toes on that one.
Yeah, some danger sometimes as a referee.
Hoffman spun around real fast and started going straight for the toes.
So Peters now zooming across half, ducks around Jenkins. Bergman now with the inbound. 49-21 in the 4th. 6:26 left in the game. Hull gets the ball over to Jenkins. Jenkins, number 14, he's not getting past Peters. He's got Bergman in front of him, but
they've got to get it over half. They've already got.
He made a pass. Oh, and so close to that line is Hierning, but he did not cross. And if you look at that blue line, it's not the front of the line.
It's the back of the line.
It's the other side, where you have to cross all the way over to be in the front court and then be in violation if you cross back at all. But he didn't touch the line. It was darn close, though. Hull working under Bergman. He takes Peters out of the way. Peters in the pile. Hull across half, which is really what he needed to do. Being pushed by Peters, almost gets over and back. Bergman tries a back pass, and that'll get away from him. So it'll be Denver ball in the corner. Looks like the referee's saying something's going on. Is that a timeout? He can't call timeout. They didn't have possession.
I think they're having an issue with one of the clocks. They keep pointing at the shot clock.
Maybe it didn't reset. It's reset now. I don't know that it should have reset, but they may be going way backward. 5:48 left in the 3rd, or the 4th, sorry. Denver setting up in the key. Wait a minute. Why is Denver in that key? They're scoring. Oh, they score this way. That's why. Brooks attacks their own bench in the second half.
Yep.
Somehow I got it twisted around.
Are you one of those guys that accidentally score on the wrong goal?
You know what? I did
after
not
half?
get enough sleep.
Neither did I.
I have gone over and back in that situation. Or when they put me in,
You go the wrong
and
way.
I'd been sitting for a long time, but last time I played, we were going the other direction.
Yep.
So Brooks now will get a play put together, attack the key. Hull trying to draw some attention to get Jenkins in the middle, which he does. But now Jenkins is in trouble. Hull's got the corner. Jenkins held up by Daly, blocked by Daly. Kingsland in the key. He's only got a couple more seconds in there, but he gets out. Oh, and not out enough. And that'll be a turnover, 10 in the key. Hernan gets the ball in, and it'll be Daly taking it up. For those of you who don't know, we had a play-in game last night. Shepherd and Oscar Mike. Were you at the game?
I was. I'm on the sideline for the rest of the season as I tore my labrum, but I was on the sideline of our game. It was a really, really hard game to watch.
Yeah.
You know, we worked really hard. We haven't really been able to practice together as a team very often, and losing a bunch of our key players this year, it's hard to come back from.
Yeah, it's been a weird year. The protocols that we've had in place as the USWRA have worked. We haven't had any real COVID outbreaks. We've been playing rugby, but there have been less tournaments. There's been less practicing. A lot of COVID tests. But it's been a successful year, and as far as I know, we haven't lost anyone to COVID.
I think there was a couple people
that rugby players? I don't know. I know we've had a lot of cases, but not all it was related to rugby. Like very few related that we can. I mean, we're not even sure we can tie it, right? It's got to be timing and how long does it take to incubate and all that stuff. But you know, when you have a tournament with 8 teams and you have one team have 3 players come up positive 4 days later, you know, where'd they get it?
You gotta be careful.
But it's nice that it didn't communicate. So, you know, it's been a hard year like it has been for everybody, but we've been playing rugby and we're excited about the opportunity to have a even more normal season next year. Herning pressed by Hull. Hull creates a turnover there with good play. He's got Jenkins in the corner if he sees him.
You saw him.
52-24, almost halfway through the final quarter of this first game. I don't know if you've seen the schedule. There's an updated schedule. We've been working off the one that's printed. So we'll try and get you more information as we go, but I do have the updated schedule. So coming up on this court next will be WAR versus Ability 360.
That's going to be a great game. We've got
WAR
some
out of
really
Tampa.
hard-hitting players on both of those teams.
Ability 360 being out of Phoenix. Both Division I teams.
WAR just kicked up, what, the last year or so?
Well, they brought in a bunch of players from other places. They got some guys from Tampa. Tampa merged with them. They got one guy who shouldn't be playing there because he breaks the 150-mile rule. They added Adams from, he used to play with Shepherd. So they got a lot of talent on that team. A lot of experience too. And it looks like we got a coach's timeout for Denver here.
I think we're getting some subs.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how that WAR team plays out here against the D1 competition. I know they've done pretty well during the season.
Got about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in this final quarter. Brooks versus Denver. Denver with the ball, getting it over half.
That's Parker read it, but
He lost it.
got it loose, got knocked out. Oh, my throat. Looks like Cam is sending me a message, but I can't. He's typing. He unsent a message. Newbie with the ball, number 9. Waiting for O'Neal to get across to the key.
I find a lot of this game is just being patient, waiting for your guys to get to where they need to be, waiting for your guys to come in and set that pick, and then just being patient as you work with your guys, because you can only come up the court as fast as your slowest player.
And I liken it to a good running back, right?
Yes.
You can't always just dive into that hole. You have to wait for the play to develop, for the hole to develop, for your lead blocker to get in front of you. And if you do that as a rugby player, like for me, as a high pointer, a 3.5, who's not fast, those low pointers are the only reason I could play. Good low pointers make me look like I'm a good player. So, you know, if you use your picks well, you'll be successful. Those low pointers work hard. Newbie gets across the try line. 55-25. With 2:51 left, this one's pretty much decided. Not a surprising
That
outcome.
looks like a jump to me. And he's still holding it.
Well, what he doesn't understand, Goronsky,
Yeah.
is that you can lift that ball up in the quote-unquote cylinder, which is above your lap, that the ball goes up and down. And if you were to hit the other player's arm with your arm while you're lifting that up, it's a foul on them, not on you. And I learned recently that that is a referee's favorite call, a referee that I know, is to call things in the cylinders. I got very excited when I was explaining that rule in Philly to somebody. Newbie has opening. Nice move there. I thought he was going to try and dive in between Jenkins and Goronsky, but
He saw the play developing and he waited for that hole to open.
well, he made a move there and made it look like he was going there. He made them commit to it, and then he changed directions. Jenkins across half. And great pick there by Goronsky. O'Neal knew he wasn't going to stop him.
We've got about 2:18 left in this final quarter. 26-56 Denver.
Where are we?
We're in Rockford, Illinois, in the middle of a April Fool's snowstorm.
I have not had any jokes played on me yet today. I'm hoping it stays that
You
way.
shouldn't have told me that,
Yeah,
Dave.
I
It's
just
going to
opened
happen
up the
now.
door. 2:03 left in the game.
If you're out there listening and you're here in Rockford with us, come on down and help me play a prank on Dave. It's going to be a great day.
If you have a great idea, go ahead and tell her via social media.
Yeah, send
Walker.
me a message on the gram.
Let's not do it on the air.
We'll film the prank for later. I just got the green light from our producer. Pranks are going on air, guys.
Pierning, number 21, leading out. He's got Newbie with the ball. And that'll be 23 Parker with the try. Parker a 1.5.
That's another
Newbie's
jump.
got his hand on the ball. We going to call that a jump? We are. Like I said, they call that a lot more liberally in the States than they do internationally. And I don't have a problem with it, but there is a distinct difference. It's noticeable. We also don't use a rule that they use around the world, which is contact before the whistle. We took that away a couple years ago, and I think it's interesting. It makes play different in a good way.
Yeah, you can set up, you can really start to get things shaken up and make moves before the...
People think it gives an advantage to the low pointers because they can lock their teeth into you, but believe it or not, it was high pointers who were advocating for it as much as the low pointers. So
It's because they want to get out of those picks as fast as possible, too.
they want to be able to smack into somebody and get position. I do it all the time, right? Somebody's going up court lackadaisically, I just hit their back wheel and turn them out of my way. Now they're not going where they want to go, and I get to be where I want to be without a penalty. Goronsky got 7 seconds left on the shot clock, gets in a dribble, trying to get through the middle, can't. Tries to get it
Vernon
to
gets
Jenkins.
the turnover. Got 1:03 left on the clock, 1:02.
Got to get it over the top when you got a guy in front of you that close.
Oh.
And Herning unable to get across half, doesn't have any help up top.
Does he call the timeout?
You can't take him to the next game, you might as well use him.
Might as well use him. Can't take him home to your mom, Dave?
What's she going to do with him?
I thought she liked the extra timeouts you bring her.
I deserve to be in timeout. 54 seconds left. O'Neal unable to take that pass. That was a drop. He regrets that one.
Yeah. He won't be eating his buttered toast before the next game, I'll tell you that much. Got Walker coming in for what looks to be a pretty rowdy drive. And he gets that try at 44 seconds left on the clock, which means we still have a shot clock.
Not for long.
No.
Shot clock has not started.
It started.
Now it has. The game clock hasn't started either. 39 seconds left.
It's
Across
over
half
half.
is O'Neal, able to protect himself from getting to those lines. Newbie helps him.
Man, this is a really cool vantage point. We can kind of see what they're doing, the moves they're making.
Yep.
And he just waited patiently for that player
This
to
pass
open
to
up
Parker.
and be where to be.
And that's Parker creating the open space. Patience by Newbie, and Parker getting wide open. You know, you don't always look for that guy in the low point chair to be an offensive threat, so he can sneak off to the corner and then come back to the key and have a wide open pass. Doronsky scores with 12.4 left. Our score is 59-29. Denver will win this first game in the Division I USWRA 2022 championship. Josh O'Neill scores the final try with 0.9 seconds left. So this not a surprise. Denver the 1 seed, Brooks the 8 seed. It was a dominating performance by some amazing players from USA. Great effort by Brooks. We do have another game coming up here very soon. I told you what it was. I don't remember.
It's 360 versus War. We have Tampa and Phoenix coming up here. The battle of the Sunshine States. It's going to be a great game. Really looking forward to seeing what these players are coming out of the pandemic with and what they've been training all year long to do. And as usual at the end with the handshakes, we love to jaw and get angry on the court, but we'll be having beers afterward. And I just found out that I noticed Brooks' coach wasn't here. Yeah. But apparently his wife Cam tested positive, so they didn't come because they were worried about the risk of cross-contamination. So that a great healthy decision. Tough for Brooks not to have their coach, but you know they're going to have a good weekend. They're going to work hard and try and make their coach proud. Anyway, that's the end of this first game. We'll take a little break. There'll be another game here you heard just in a couple minutes, so stick around. There's lots of rugby coming. My name's Dave Mengen. I'm here with Kara Barron. We'll be here all weekend. Thanks a lot. See you guys.